Thanks for tuning in to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. Here you'll find tips, insight, and information to help your music and your ministry succeed. Whether you're a singer, a musician, or a songwriter, we want to help you where you are, but we also want to help you get to where you want to go. We believe that our talents are God's gift to us, but what we do with those are our gift back to God. Yesterday's information is important, but what we can learn today will make this the best day yet. The Charles Novell School of Music is coming to Cincinnati, Ohio, October 18th and 19th for a weekend regional training session. You can study voice, instrumentation, songwriting, social media, technology, and so much more. For more information, reach out to us at www.cnsmusic.com. Hey, Rob here. Welcome back to another episode of the CNS podcast, The Best Day Yet. Hope this finds all well with you today. Hey, you heard there on the intro, we are heading to Cincinnati, Ohio this weekend, October 18th and 19th for a weekend regional training session. Super excited. I get to go home. I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio for the first 35 years of my life, and I kid with everybody. I have a house in Georgia, but my home is in Ohio, and that is true. I'm really excited to get to go home. I love CNS. I love doing our weekend regional sessions. The weekend sessions are great. They're kind of a smaller, intimate setting. We don't have the large number of students like we have in the summer session, and it gives us a chance to deep dive a little bit into different topics. And through our Q&A sessions with the smaller numbers, we're just able really to fine tune and nail down the needs of our students that come out. Looking forward to this one as well. Home, again, I mentioned that, but we team up when we head in the fall to Greater Cincinnati. We team up with the GCSGMA, and that is the Greater Cincinnati Southern Gospel Music Association. And I'm honored to be a part of this association. And I love supporting gospel music, but also this one's near and dear to my heart. I sit on the SGMA board, the Southern Gospel Music Association, but the GCSGMA is the only other board and definitely on the state level that I'm part of. And I want to do that because that's home for me, and I want to support home. Great organization there in the tri-state, Northern Kentucky, Southern Ohio, kind of Eastern Indiana area. If you are involved in ministry in that area at all, this is an organization that you need to look at linking arms with. We're going to talk a little bit today about, I love our topic today. We're talking about, do you, be you, but at the same time, be the best you that you can be. And so we're going to talk about networking and linking arms and connecting our ministries with other sources that can help just push us forward to what God's call on our life, our music, and our ministry is all about. So the GCSGMA, if you're in that area, this would be a great thing for you to look into. Hey, we still have space available for this weekend session. If you are listening to our podcast and you're within a couple hours of Greater Cincinnati, we'd love to invite you to come out and be part of things with us for the weekend. You can get more information, as you heard earlier, at www.cnsmusic.com. Okay. Let's get into today's topic. I'm excited about this one. So today's topic is be you, but be the best you that you can be. I get this question a lot, with what we do with CNS. We work with people that have different goals, but maybe more importantly, calls on their life, different levels of things that they feel they are called to do. CNS is for everybody. It's for those that are aspiring to maybe be full-time in Christian music, or those that are content to go out and minister locally in their community, maybe within a couple hours of home base. Also, it's just simply for the alto on the second row of the church choir that just wants to do what they do unto the Lord more effectively, more efficiently, and better. So we cover kind of a wide range of who our target audience would be. I know as we are gearing up for this weekend, but we're also gearing up already for CNS 25. We have record number of students registered at this point of the year for CNS 25. That's super, super exciting. We love helping people move their music, their ministry, and even their lives forward to what God ultimately, again, has for them to do. So, again, we cover a wide range of things, but regardless of the level that we find ourselves answering this call in our life to pursue our music and to pursue our ministry, it has to start with us first and foremost being ourselves. The comparison factor is a real thing. That's a struggle. I've shared before. I know for me, I grew up in a pretty big shadow. I am legally Charles Robert Novell II. Everyone just expected me. My father was a gifted, great, just accomplished pianist, and people just expected growing up for me to follow those footsteps. And I love to play. I have worked hard to get my playing to where it is. But I've shared kind of part of my testimony is, some people know me as a pianist. Some people know me as a bass guitarist. Kind of the gospel music scene, I kind of made my mark traveling and playing bass guitar. Some that know me as a pianist don't know I play bass. Some that know me as a bass player don't know I play the piano. But again, growing up, my dad had me on the piano bench just, I think, as early as he could set me there. And I love playing. But when I kind of hit my early teen years, I really pursued the bass guitar. I loved playing. I loved the instrument. I still do. But to be honest, the main reason I did was because it was a chance for Rob to kind of create his own lane, his own identity. My dad wasn't a bass player, so this was a way for me to try to get relief and get out of that huge shadow that was cast on the expectations over my music. And looking back, I'm thankful for that period, but at the same time, it was kind of a little bit of the prodigal son story, because I ran. And I think ultimately ran from a call that God had on my life, trying to size myself up, knowing that those shoes were impossible to fill. And, in the natural, in the flesh, we all deal with that. We all deal with feeling like we're not qualified enough, gifted enough, capable enough. And those struggles were real for me. And so looking back, I'm thankful and then regretful all at the same time of that season. However, it was all part of God's plan. It was all part of Him needing to get me to the place where I realized this wasn't about me trying to be someone else. This was just simply about, again, me trying to be Rob, and trying to be the best Rob that he could be. So I'm thankful for that was some pressure, and I'm thankful for that, because it's excelled me and pushed me forward through life. When my dad passed, I avoided just trying to play anything that my dad did, because I just didn't feel like I could do it justice or live up. But when my dad passed in 2020, I released a solo piano project. Rob Novell, the arrangements of Dr. Charles Novell. And I picked 10 of my favorite songs that I remember him playing through my childhood and my upbringing that were my favorites. And man, I set out and I learned them. My father left me multiple 1.5 inch thick binders of his arrangements, his music. And so I took that season and I learned those and I released those. You can hear those. They're available on iTunes or Spotify or even YouTube Music. It's Rob Novell, the arrangements of Dr. Charles Novell. So where I was finally in that season of my life was To do it justice, I played my dad's arrangements, but there are places that Rob took liberties and Rob put his spin on things because, again, I wasn't trying to be anybody but who God created me to be, and that was myself. So I know off the heels of NQC a couple of weeks ago, these are just opinions and observations that Rob makes. I remember as a kid walking in that building, scoping and hoping I wanted to do that one day, and worked hard along the path and along the way to get there, and was able to do that. And potentially that season is behind me now. But what is fun for me, and maybe even more rewarding, is the season that we're in with CNS, is we are helping other people. That was the young Rob scoping and hoping. We are helping them move towards that call that God's placed on their life to achieve what the goals and the aspirations that they need to set for themselves. So observing and watching during that week, I think I see too many people trying to be other people and not concentrating on just being themselves. So want to encourage you today, whatever God's called you to do, set out to do it to the best of your ability. There is nothing wrong. Man, my dad was a hero to me. He was a mentor. He was a teacher. He was an influence. There is absolutely nothing wrong with us looking up to people that we want to allow to push us and motivate us to be the best that we can be. But clearly understand, you don't set out trying to be them. You set out trying to be yourself. And I think what I notice in observing a lot of younger people, which is encouraging to see during that week, but I think I can look at them and tell that they are just trying to follow a mold, to a blueprint that they have set in front of themselves due to other artists. And what we have to understand, I don't think really God truly starts to work in us until we surrender ourselves, our callings, our talents, our gifts, our skill sets unto Him. I believe this way. I don't think God will cover what we won't uncover. So we've got to remove self out of the way and concentrate on being, again, the best that He has called us to be. So today, we're going to just talk some tips on becoming the best version of you that you can possibly be. All right. So number one, set goals. Set goals in your music. Set goals in your ministry. Start with small, achievable goals in a few month time frame. What does that mean? Start small. Set small, reachable goals. I don't know. These can look different for everybody, but some goals might be, let's learn some new music. Okay, if you're a instrumentalist, let's learn a couple new solos that can be played when you go out and minister. If you're a vocalist, work on learning some new songs that you can sing when you go out and minister. Some of those other goals may be, and I see this a lot from social media to, again, hearing conversations and having conversations during NQC. Maybe it's a recording project. Maybe you're feeling led to do your first project or to do a follow-up to a previous project that you've done. That can be a goal. It could be in the area of your booking. How can you get more bookings for your ministry? How can you get out more? So set those goals as small goals and work on achieving those, getting those down. Here's the thing. Once you kind of make a list, write it down. I'm a list guy. I like to write things down and then I like to check them off. There's a sense of accomplishment when my list starts to diminish because I've been able to achieve some of those small frame and small time goals. So there's kind of the immediate goal that you're working on, and so the short term, and then there can also be long term goals. Number two, take daily action. Take daily action. Daily, you must strive to be the best that you can be. Consistency is the key to success. Going over and over things. So what happens in a daily action? Practice routine. I know I'm working with someone out of state right now that has a a deadline, a November performance that they're doing. And I've been coaching them the last couple of weeks, and we'll be working with them up to that November deadline. So I am giving them kind of our first 2 points here. I've asked them to set some goals in front of themselves, some things that we can benchmark and kind of chop away at. It's kind of like the old phrase, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You don't eat the whole elephant in one setting. You got to kind of work your way to consume it. So we're working at setting goals. Also, I'm encouraging them to get into a daily routine of practice. They're a vocalist, so I'm encouraging them to vocalize every single day. You cannot become better at what you do until you roll up your sleeves and put some effort into it. I can hear my dad on a daily basis, Robbie, you just got to roll up your sleeves and get to work. So a daily action, a daily plan of something is important. We've had different podcasts and different things on practice. There are different goals that you can set there. There's kind of deliberate practice. That's a really good concept to follow. Maybe just jot that down. You can do a deep dive, Google that on your own if you would like to do that. Number 3, help others. Helping others can motivate you, and it can build lasting connections. What is the best way to achieve success in your life? Help someone else achieve success. What I love about the music industry, the music business, and I heard a great quote the other day. This artist said that they were not in the music business. They were in the business of making music. And man, I've thought about that, and that is a great approach to think about this, because if you're in the music business, then you're kind of my way and the highway. You're kind of my for and no more. You're kind of looking at things selfishly, independently. If you think about being in the business of making music, you can celebrate your own achievements in your life because you're able to celebrate the successes of other people. We mentioned earlier the GCSGMA. That's a association there in Greater Cincinnati. If one of those members of the GCSGMA wants to succeed, their best route is helping someone else succeed. One thing I like about the organization is they network together. They share dates with one another. If they can't make a booking, they're referring a group. So helping others is a good way for you to succeed. And I see this daily as a teacher. Man, as I teach you all, I learn, I give, and I, we quote a scripture around the time of giving in our church services. Given, it shall be given unto you. We tend to accessorize that, wrap that around the time of worshiping through our giving. But you all, that's not just a monetary thing. I truly believe that as we give unto others, God will bless and give us back. So you want to start seeing new success in your ministry? Start celebrating and helping other people, other ministries achieve success. Now, we also said that through this, you can build lasting connections. Michael Booth said something so impactful at CNS 24. He was talking about NQC 24, and he made a statement that people, and we don't have time for this. This could be a whole other podcast topic of I don't know. Bitter is not better. That would be a great topic for that podcast. And I've heard this. I've had conversations with people close to me about this, that they look at NQC as just this political thing. It's just this ladder that you're trying to climb. And if you do the right thing here or do the right thing there, it will benefit you moving up. And what Michael said was so effective and influential on, I believe it was Wednesday of CNS. I was in a room with Michael and a couple other staff members and students that participated in the artist showcases at NQC 24. And what he said to them was, NQC is not political, it's relational. And his point was what he has done in his ministry and his career, not only as Michael Booth, but with the Booth brothers. The level of success they've achieved, say related to NQC, you're going to see the Booth brothers on multiple nights on the main stage during NQC. His input here was they are there not because he's played a political game, but because of relationships in his life. I know for me, God has placed relationships in my life, and I've cultivated them, and then I've been able to use those in other areas of my ministry. Hey, Rob Novell here with the Charles Novell School of Music. I wanted to take a second to tell you about our next national session, CNS 25, that'll be taking place June 22nd through the 28th at Bethel University in McKenzie, Tennessee. What could God do with your life, your music, and your ministry if you simply gave Him 1 week of your time? At CNS, you can study voice, piano, guitar, songwriting, bass guitar, drums, sound and technology, social media, group training, and more. For more information, reach out to us at www.cnsmusic.com. So it is all about relationships in your life. So as you help other people succeed, think about it. You are building connections that can help your ministry down the road. Number 4, hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to the standard of being the best version of you that you can be. Again, in a recent lesson with an artist that I'm coaching, we talked about, I do a little thing called what's right, wrong, and missing. After every performance that I do, I try to get things videoed or find a video of a performance so I can go in and critique it. And what am I doing? I'm holding myself accountable. What was right, wrong, and missing is just a little thing that I like to do after every event that I'm part of. What went right? What was right in what I did? What was wrong? What could I fix and change the next time? And then what was missing? What did I forget? What did I leave out? What did I fail to do that could have made that service or that program or that concert more effective for the listener? So we've simply got to hold ourselves accountable. Number 5, keep a journal. Writing in a journal can help you clear your mind and reflect on your life. Again, maybe you can't watch a video from a performance, but after your service, after your performance, after your concert, journal. How did it go? Write down some key things that happened that you think were good things that you could continue, that you could make just part of your ministry. The next one, ask better questions. Instead of asking, why can't I do this? Maybe ask the question, what would it feel like if I could do this? I love with CNS, I say this, it's just kind of part of our marketing, part of our branding, part of our advertising and promotion. CNS is the place to ask the right person the right question to get the right answer. How does Rob learn? I ask the right person the right question to get the right answer. I'm a sponge. I understand when I'm in an environment, I understand who is there, what their skill sets are, and where they are smarter in an area than I might be. So I ask better questions. I ask the right questions to the right people to get the right answer. So instead of saying, why can't I do this? What would it feel like if I did this? What you're doing is you're encouraging yourself and motivating yourself to say, you know what? I can. You remember the story, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, the little engine that could. You know, if we positively reinforce ourselves with encouraging statements, you know, it's not, why can't I do this? Well, what would happen if I could do this? Think about that. What would happen to your services if you were to do maybe something that you're not currently doing? So just another good question to ask. Ask the right people the right question to get those right answers. All right. Looking on, develop a growth mindset. Believe that hard work can develop your abilities over time. We started off with goals, short-term, long-term. Think about it. Develop a growth mindset. Man, this is an easy one for me, but you have to understand. And let me back up. Rob has to understand. Part of my struggle for me is, I was raised in a household where we never reached the bar, because if we got close to it, Dad would just bump it up a notch. And that's a growth mindset. That is, you know what? I'm going to be absolutely the best that I can be. Not for Rob, but for the Lord. We believe this way at CNS, that our talents, our skill sets, that's God's gift to us. But what we do with those, that's our gift back to God. So when I stand up in front of an audience, before that audience is there, God is there. So I'm standing up directly in front of the one who gave me the gifts to begin with. So if I don't do something, if I'm not willing to perfect what I do, then I'm not shortchanging the audience. First and foremost, I'm shortchanging God. So we have to develop a growth mindset. Believe that hard work can develop your abilities over time. Not everything is going to happen immediately. Again, I mentioned we've had various things, podcast on practice. And for me, there are 3 steps and 3 phases to my practice routine. I am working on songs that I'm practicing songs I'm currently staging when I go out and do a service. I'm also working on songs that I have played prior. So current music, previous music, and then the third aspect of my practice is I'm working on songs. Right now I'm working on some songs I won't stage for 6 months, but I am working on developing them so I can get them to a point that I am ready to go out and stage or go out and perform them. So practice, is a huge part of a growth mindset. Again, I can hear my dad, Robbie, you got to roll up your sleeves. I had someone tell me that I've only achieved what I've achieved in my music because of my last name being Novell. And now I'll throw that individual a bone in the fact that, yes, it's a huge blessing to be Charles Novell's son and what my dad was able to accomplish in Christian music. That benefits us. My dad ran the Charles Novell School of Music for 58 years. All I'm doing is pushing it forward. I didn't reinvent the wheel. I was handed the keys to a sound car, and we're just detailing it, fine tuning it, and maybe stepping on the gas pedal a little further. But I'm doing what I do on a daily basis because God placed a call on Rob's life. Again, today is all about us being us, you being you, but being the best version of you that you can be. In that conversation, I was told I've never had to work for anything, that, doors open just because of my last name. Oh, that is so untrue. It's partially true in the fact that, yes, opportunities have come because of my circles, my heritage, my history. However, if a door opens for you and you walk through that door, if you're not qualified to be in that room, you're going to have to turn around and walk right back out of that room. So it's important that we work, and nobody knows how hard I've worked but me and God. And I have worked very, 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 very hard. So a growth mindset. The last thing I want to talk to you, surround yourself with positivity. A positive attitude can help you cope with challenges and improve your mental health. Listen, I want to advocate a couple things here. Mental health, that's huge. That's a big part of what we do. We talk a lot, and this will be a future podcast on the word confidence. What we do, how we do, and the best that we can do depends on how confident we are with who we are. So that's a side note on today's podcast about being the best. You've got to be confident with who you are, confident with where you are right now, but also confident that you're going to get to where God needs you to be. The best way to do that is to surround yourself with positivity. The individual I was just referring to a while ago that said what they said to me, this person was one of the most negative people. So what did Rob do? You know what? I dealt with it for a while, and then, it's time to move on. It is time to move on. You cannot get home. If you are driving home right now and you're listening to this podcast, if you are staring in the rearview mirror, you're not safely going to get home. You're going to run into something in front of you, because to move forward in life, you've got to be moving forward. Every now and then, I like to say it this way, we may need to take inventory of our life. In business, the most important aspect to the business world is their inventory, and they keep track of their inventory. They know what they have. They know when it's getting low. I think also in our personal lives, the most important thing to do is maybe to take friend inventory. Are you around people that are pulling you forward and lifting you up and trying to help you win? Or are you around people that are negative, Debbie Downers, loser Larrys, people that just want to complain all the time that the world has been unfair to them? That's not positive. That's not going to uplift you. Surround yourself with positive people. Man, I have some people in my life that they ooze positivity. And you know what? I like to I like to be around that. I like people to encourage me because a lot of dots connect here with our points today. They can help me celebrate because I help them celebrate. I'm positive about their achievements and what they're accomplishing. And I realize, again, some of these people are those right people to ask the right question type of people that God's placed in my life. They're relationships that God's given me, and I need to cultivate them and protect them and move those forward. Not so they can politically excel me somewhere, but relationally, I can tap into them. It's like the ATM machine. The only way we get money out of the ATM, when we put that card in there, we've had to deposit money into that account to begin with. So you start to cultivate these relationships and make deposits in them. When you need to make a withdrawal, you can make a withdrawal. All right, so we're going to wrap up there today. We're just striving to be the best individuals that we can be. Again, not for us, but because of what we do, we're doing unto the Lord. Man, I hope some of this information can help you with where you are in your music and your ministry right now. And I promise you, not because I said it, but if you apply these techniques to your life and you strive to be the best that you can be, you're going to see that this is going to make today become your best day yet. You all be blessed. Thanks for listening to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the name the Charles Novell School of Music. And for more information on CNS and our upcoming events, like our online school, our weekend regional sessions, our creative coaching, and our pastor's retreat, you can visit us at our website at www.cnsmusic.com. As you've listened to this episode, we hope that you've gained some information that you can apply to your music and to your ministry to make today the best day yet.